Hello and welcome back to part 2. I apologize for the sudden interruption of the game, but I'll just tell you I made the right choice because, it's always good to treat your in-laws well. We were doing some history. You guys had just started talking as I quickly ran back and got on camera. So let's recoup. The last thing I remember is that we had just finished up Joshua's stuff for Grimm, right? Is there anything I missed?
I think while you were away, we discussed that how Grimm and Sundown worked together could have been on a job that Janella employed them on.
Yep, that was the last thing I remember.
Okay, good.
And then I had a quick question for Leandro's character, because I feel like Grimm is the kind of person who wouldn't really care about sharing your secrets. But do I not know that you're Tella, or do you just have some kind of dirt on me that makes me not want to share the fact that you used to be an Imperial?
Ooh,
Everyone.
I think probably the latter, because then I can't see why Grimm wouldn't share all that. I think about what she might have on him.
Just a thought.
Huh. Dirt. Let's see. Imperial codes to mess with your bounty hunter credentials. That's a possibility.
So maybe you know a bunch of pre-programmed clone trigger words.
Yeah, if I was a handler, for sure.
That's
if that's the direction you want to go in, I'm
I'm
fine.
cool with it. We can, play around with it if it gets too crazy.
We can just if you guys want. Now I want to check in with Bethany because it does step in onto a little bit of the brainer capability, but we could work it similar to a direct brain whisper projection type deal. Or not direct brain. No, not direct brain. There's the other one, puppet strings, which I really like that move. So just to flesh out what I mean is that when you activate the trigger word, then because it's the trigger word and only would work on Grimm, then basically you can spend your whole 1-for-1 to give them a command, and if they fail, you inflict 1 harm AP, or they will take a -1 right now. If they fulfill it, then there's no benefit. Or the other thing we could do is do it similar to a manipulation, in that I'm jumping down to the moves to make sure. So on seduce, manipulate, which is on page 27 of the ref book. If they go along with you, they mark XP. If they refuse, erase one of their stat highlights for the remainder of the session, which is super harsh. Which of those do you like? The idea of you take harm if you don't do it, or a -1 because it messes you up, or do you want the carrot and the stick out there? You guys, either way could work. I just want to see which one you like better.
I'll leave it up to Grimm because that's it's them being messed with.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide what would most make sense, because I would imagine it's like a more of a mental thing than a physical thing, but you can take mental harm. So I guess maybe the harm makes the most sense, or I don't know.
Well, there's a certain sickness to the idea of you get XP when you do that amuses me.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's pretty cool incentive.
So it's a carrot and a stick kind of deal.
Right.
You want to table that for now? You basically have a code word. We'll figure that out. Let's just simmer on it for a little bit.
Okay.
Good. So I think it is time for Janila to do some HX, right?
Okay. All right. I'll ask them one at a time, I I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
I find it more fun that way. And this is the one I'm very interested in. Which of you is in love with me?
I could see that being me.
Nice. Down is in love with me.
Yep.
So I have -1 HX with you. What does HX do?
So HX is
Is that
the
like the help
mechanic
interfere
used for
button?
help and interfere. Exactly.
Okay.
So you roll with HX, and if you want to help, then you'll be giving them a +1. If you want to
Oh.
hinder, you can give them a -2.
All right. And because she's in love with me, I have a negative to help her.
Right. You don't understand her as much as other people because
All right. Okay.
she loves you, and that's weird.
Then the other two, which I mean, because they're not as dramatically interesting. Which one of you is my friend, and which one of you is my lover? Which you don't have to choose if you don't want.
I could see being loose friends with you. We've probably done a lot of work together in the past. It's kind of what I'm thinking.
No problem. Is my friend.
Nice. So are you going with lover or no lover for insert Tala Garcena name here?
That's Stella's choice.
I know.
Yeah. Honestly, as funny as it would be, I don't see someone as closed off and secretive as Talis being anyone's lover, really. Yeah.
Well,
I don't.
So I don't know if it makes a difference, but because like she's a Skinner and a Zeltron, like lover isn't really like for her. Could just be like we sleep together on the regular. Like there could be no real emotional connection, even though like I might try for more at sometimes, but like it could be as simple as that.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I think I'd be interested in playing in that sort of angle. I think maybe for Tella, it's a case of loosening up, and
Yeah.
Janelle's helping with that.
Because I know, like on your playbook, which HX I desperately want, and that is doomed to self-destruction.
Oh yes, yeah. That was my thought for that HX is actually. We'll get there, but yeah, okay, I think I'm down for that kind of reframing as a lover.
Sure.
Way to work together. You all rock. Good work. All right. Is that everyone for you then?
Yeah.
Okay, then Leandro, let us figure out what you have for your HX. Angel.
Give me a sec. I just need to scroll to Angel bit. She's not the most angelic of angels. I'm starting to realize. Yeah. So the first one, which we just referred to, which one of you do I figure is doomed to self-destruction? And
I want that.
yeah, you have it. Like everyone else.
I'm super gullible, and like I'm like, oh sure, I'll do this.
Yeah, especially what I think I kind of heard of what you've been doing, like Crimelord Mos Eisley, like that's not gonna go anywhere. It wasn't gonna go anywhere, but where it went. All right, so and that's I love how asymmetrical this is. Like, so I have a -2 with you. All right, and the next one is which one of you put a hand in when it mattered and helped me save a life?
I almost want to say me just because it seems so weird, like improbable. But then it could also be like also the gunlighter could. Either way, you got help saving a life from someone who is kind of not the most ethical person out there.
The only reason I'd put Grim forward is because I'm definitely not going to be your third one.
Well,
I
look,
mean,
that's what I think. Yeah.
you've been together all along, just maybe not by choice.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. Technically, yes, you have. You've seen most of what I've seen. It's just that you didn't have a choice. Yeah, maybe. I'm sorry, we're skipping ahead a bit to the third one, but maybe like you know me as the Hannah who abandoned you, but I don't know you as like a clone I abandoned. For all I know, you're just. Oh wait, no, you kind of knew because I've been I have like trigger codes, but maybe I don't know you're a specific clone. I just know you're a clone. I don't know that you're one I specifically abandoned because Tella has quite a bit of baggage. Being a former Imperial, it's probably just saw like clones. Yeah, they're kind of, that's what they are. That's literally what they are. So maybe like I would consider you someone who's been beside me all along.
I actually like that. It's a nice dichotomy with our relationship.
Yeah, that's horrible. So back to Brainerd, to Sundown. Yeah, I like the improbable. You helped me save a life, sort then.
Cool. To take care of all of them?
Yep.
All right. So next we end it with Sundown. It's appropriate.
Yep. So I think I have ideas for the people here, but who has slept in my presence?
I mean, I could see Janela working for either that or you watching in secret.
I'm thinking that it's probably that one, the second one, but
Okay.
I don't know. Or dislike and distrust me could also definitely
she's
work.
too gullible to do that.
Okay.
Zeltron's got weird like that.
Okay. Let's see.
I like the idea. If you want to be watching me in secret,
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Who dislikes and distrusts me? I wonder if it's Grim, maybe, since we've worked together before. Like, I like the idea of we've worked together all this time, and yet.
Well, and maybe it's not that like there's anything wrong with you. It's just that he doesn't like weird stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that could make sense. Grim just hates everybody.
Yeah. Which would leave Tella for have slept in my presence. Which I mean, like, I don't have any particular like implications or weird backstory for that, but
yeah, maybe it's after like you helped me save this life. I'm imagining it is probably like some idiot, some idiot in the slag works who got well, not idiot, some poor soul in the slag works who probably got like a limb crusher too, and we had to work together, and you were there to save them, and I was just tired and exhausted and slept in your presence, and then I woke up and thinking, this weirdo Twi'lek didn't do anything while I was just sleeping next to them.
Hey, I'm still alive. They didn't kill me in my sleep. All right.
If you guys don't mind, I'd like to insert the person whose life you saved as Yaga, a Rhodian who runs Baba's Grill. Baba's his father. And Yaga's a fast-mouthed fool with his fingers more pies than he can honestly manage. I could see him totally getting shot in the gut for not fulfilling an obligation that he'd set up. And then you had to save his life. So he likes you a lot, which gives its own problem, but still.
Oh, jeez.
You saved his life. You're great. And obviously you care about people, so you can use that. Awesome. What else for Sundown?
I think
That's all. Yeah, Tella has slept in my presence. I've been watching Janila in secret, and Grim dislikes and distrusts me. I love how I get a +3 with the person who dislikes and distrusts me.
No, I was just laughing at that. It's pretty great.
Yes, I really like HX, I think it tells an interesting story, and it's open to a lot of interpretation. Often some playbooks will get negative HX when you're like, wouldn't you know that person better? And then you have to think, well, wait, how messed up is this person's perception of friendship? Wow, okay. So at the end, what we need to do is go around and you choose a character with the highest HX on your sheet. So just look at your columns, not sheet, whole sheet. Joshua, for Grim, who, as we look down at Grim, it looks like it would be Janila.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Janila, look at Grim's stats. Choose one to highlight.
Hard.
Nice. So with that stat highlighted, what that means is every time you roll that stat, you get an XP. I will highlight, because I'm terrible, I'm highlighting weird, because it looks like a big bunch of problems. I want to see it come to roost. But you get XP. So next we go with Joe and Janila. Who has the highest HX on your quote-unquote sheet?
I don't know if this matters for you, but for the weird, like, he's never gonna roll weird.
It's not true.
He's got the move psychic. He rolls hard instead of weird.
Oh, I did not catch that. Okay.
It's only in battle, but like.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't want to be that guy, and I did not catch that. Yep, battle hardened right there. There we go. All right. Well, I'm going with hot. Come on, you can seduce some people. It'll be great. It'll work out for you. But -2. But it's easier to engage that move. It makes sense.
Grim is the highest on my sheet. So.
All right.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm going to have to pick hot. I mean, that's what I think of when I think of Janela. So all my interactions with her in the past.
All right, and I'm going to highlight hard for Janela. It's going to be a hot and hard session for at least half the group. Leandro, for Tella, who has the highest HX?
It's Grim again. And spoilers, Grim's going again after me. Everybody loves Grim.
Okay, so for Tella, I'm gonna pick cool, actually.
Is that a thing you can easily engage?
Oh yeah, you mentioned that cool is kind of hard.
Yeah, cool is the hard one to do.
Engage that particular stat.
I'll do sharp then.
Good call. Well, there goes our hot hard combo. So I'm going to mix it up as well, and I'm going to go weird. So sharp and weird are highlighted for you. And again, this changes every session. If people, it doesn't always change. Like if everybody loves their highlights and I do not trump it, then we would roll forward with the same highlights. But every session will say, does anyone want new highlights? Cool. So last but not least, Sundown. Who highlights you?
Grim again.
All Grim, all the time.
I'm going to pick weird because I want to see all the weird stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not highlighting your sharp. I'm highlighting your hot. More hot. All right. Very wonderful, my friends. We've got that done. And now we just have one last thing, which was introduced in 2nd edition, and it is lifestyle. So for lifestyle, it is an abstract idea of what your current lifestyle is. Things change. Nothing stays the same in Apocalypse World. We are in Mos Shuta. If you go to the Roll for Your Party link, we'll see I've got a map for that sucker. And it is our adequately logical dinosaur link there. Just about the best. So think about your setup and your current barter. In your gear listing, it should have told you how much barter you have. Sundown is rolling in cash because the brainer always starts with 8 barter. Yeah, that is so much. I dare say no one will get to 8 barter in our sessions because
That's a lot.
it's amazing. Cool. So let me grab the lifestyle stuff. So at the beginning of the session, you will spend 1 or 2 barter for your lifestyle. If you can't or won't, tell the MC and answer her questions, or him, so his questions. If you need jingle during a session, tell the MC you'd like to work a gig. So we'll circle back around. Grim, will you spend 1 or 2 barter for your lifestyle?
I will happily spend a barter.
Okay, good call. You're doing okay. Yes, it's jingle is the idea of, I mean, we could call it cred. It's the abstraction of a medium of exchange. So, Janila, do you wish to spend 1 or 2 barter for your lifestyle?
I do not.
You don't want to spend any?
Nope.
Okay, so if you spend no barter whatsoever, and then you're in bad shape. Just so we're aware, I want to make sure you are fully aware. I'm trying to spin down to grab the info on the being out of that. Hold on just a second.
Questions.
Yeah, I have questions to ask you, but I'll also be putting you. So here we go. So if you pay 0 barter, it could mean that at the beginning of the session, you're desperately hungry and dying of thirst, but I get to ask some questions. So to the other players, okay, who's going to pay 1 barter to keep her alive?
Oh, I didn't realize that's what I meant.
Okay, that's why I say, do you want to spend a barter?
I mean, I'm in love with her, so.
All right, cool.
Well, I'm desperately like I'd spend an ottoman.
Okay, so you want to?
I just thought it was like I'm down and out on my luck after my crime boss gig fell through. So
I'm okay with him. You can start off in very, very, very bad shape.
All right, let's go with it.
Okay, all right. So you're not letting anybody pay barter to keep you alive, then?
Well, Brainer can. She's got 8.
Okay, so now we're leaning towards understanding a little bit about Mos Eisley. It appears that you were run out of town. Something went bad wrong in you trying to be a crime lord there. And sundown is the only reason that you are living and breathing right now. You could be starved. You could have been out in the desert. Sundown, where did you find Janila?
Okay, I guess the question is, where would I have been that I would have found her?
Well, you're a brainer. You could have just been
right.
Like,
Yeah.
miles over the sand dune.
Yeah, I think I had like a weird dream and woke up and like knew that Janila was dying out somewhere in the sand dunes and went and found her. Yeah, that's I don't know where I would have found her, but there's probably some like
It's like a sarlacc pit not far.
like a dead sarlacc pit.
Ooh, nice. So there's a dead sarlacc pit that you were found by. I'm writing
Yeah, now it's literally just a hole.
Oh man, that's wicked. Cool. So let's keep going. Because now I know how to start you guys off. Tella, do you wish to spend 1 or 2 barter?
Ooh, I do have an infirmary to keep going. I'm gonna spend both just so I mean, my infirmary's stocked, and actually, no, my kit is stocked. My infirmary's different. That's where.
If you spend 2 barter, your infirmary is stocked right now, and you're rolling. We should define. You have 2 workers.
Yeah. Just noticed that literally 10 minutes ago. It's like, oh shit, I have to create NPCs now. Yeah, I definitely have a crew of 2. I've given them names. That's the most I've thought of them. One names are Demani and Yara. I think they're sisters. They're not human sisters. I think they are. Let's see. The weird. Have we met any female Gamorreans? I kind of want to have some female Gamorreans.
We have one. There has been a female Gamorrean who was a leader of a swoop gang, and that was amusing. So if you want a pair of female Gamorreans, that is
One used to work for me.
that's true.
Used to.
Used to. That's not treated her very well. All right, so Donnie and Yara, and they are both Gamorreans. Okay, cool. I've got them entered into the NPCs. We will figure them out as we go. You spent 2 barters. You guys are doing all right. And that means you are scrimping by.
Yeah.
That could be a problem. You got to be working some gigs. I would recommend you try to stay ahead of that game, my friend. All right. And then last, but certainly not least, Sundown. Do you wish to spend 1 or 2 barter? You've already spent 1 for poor Janela.
I have a feeling I'm going to be doing that again, so just 1.
Okay, good call. 1 means you're getting by. You've got your stash. You haven't dipped deeply into it.
Yeah, I feel like Sundown is paranoid enough that they hoard money.
All right. So let's begin at so if you guys remember from Return of the Jedi, there was that kind of siesta period that happens in the middle of the day when Tatooine's twin suns are both at their zeniths, and it is the hottest, and it is Andrew, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do Celsius. It's like 115 to 125 degrees out. I think that's something like 13 degrees Celsius or something like that. I don't know. But for us, you have a larger scale, like 115 to 125.
I think.
It's bad. So we begin at it's like 40-ish. I don't know, Leander's not reacting like that's scary. It's like 45. Oh, okay, there we go. That's the expression I need. All right, we're all on the same page now. It is hot. It's real hot. And so most everything shuts down. There are a few like Jawas and the like who can handle it, but and Trandoshans actually. Oh yeah, it's like 50. There we go. Thank you for doing maths or looking up a Google Translate of things. Thank you. And it's terrible. And so we have several places on Mos Shuda where people will hide from the heat. There's some people who are entertainers and they may earn their way into Temo's palace. Temo the Hutt is the Hutt who, quote unquote, runs Mos Shuda. He is not a sheriff, but he does have guards. And the Imperials technically run the town, but they often look the other way, or at least historically have. There's also a bathhouse here in Mos Shuda, but it is pricey. There's a cantina, and while most people will just kind of sleep, Trask, the Deveronian, that's the devil-looking folks, Trask and his Hoshi, his dancer, they will kind of slack off, but they'll be around to serve drinks. They don't have air conditioning in the cantina. They have an air conditioning unit, but it is broken. If only someone played a savvy head. I'm joking. No, it's broken. So it gets really, really hot. There's a single fan. So there are places to hide out, but the big thing that happens is that near to a half hour before that hot period fades and the sun's split out and it starts to become bearable. There are several Imperial APCs, these armored personnel carriers. There's like these big kind of shoebox looking things that will carry troopers. Were spotted on a horizon. Actually on the horizon in the direction of Mos Eisley. There are 2 spaceports here in Mos Chuda, and by spaceports I mean not an entire port, a place where a ship can land. So it does not have a significant amount of traffic. But that is what you guys have. It's like half an hour ago. Word started traveling around. I would imagine that if anyone wants to know about that kind of stuff, Tella would know. Now, is Tella the kind of person to watch the horizons? Is she that bad off? Or is it a thing where she has folks she knows, or people would know if this thing is coming, give Tella a heads up? Or did she just look into it when she heard about this?
I think she's definitely the type who would look into it herself.
Okay. So you're aware that there are some Imperial forces that are coming from the direction of Mos Eisley towards Mos Chuda. And then sundown, you are finishing up the application of perhaps some Bacta, like healing gel to Janila's parched lips after you have helped to restore her from being deserted on the desert, as it were, left behind, patched her up. I think Janila, maybe you've got like a sexy scar because you're Skinner, but like maybe a blaster burn on your shoulder that's still healing a bit. And I think, where is it that you are located, Sundown? Do you have Janila at your place? And if you have a place, is it a permanent place, or do you just stay somewhere in the shanty town, or do you stay at the bunkhouse, which is right near the cantina, or does Timo actually put you up somewhere in his palace?
I think I move around a lot. So like it's just wherever I'm staying right now. But I think in order to get everyone involved here as soon as possible, maybe I brought her to Tella, who is the angel.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, you're doing all of this while at Tella's infirmary, which means I'll now turn and ask Tella. So we have a bunch. If you look on the map, there are a lot of places that are not yet defined. There is actually a medical center. Do you run that medical center? That's an Imperial medical center, so I think maybe you don't?
Yeah, no, I think she doesn't want that much attention. I think probably where should be closer to the cantina.
Okay.
Be one of those square cubes with a circle on top.
Yeah.
Easiest to serve, folks who get drunk and get into fights they probably shouldn't have.
Nice. And then there's the dewback stables right by there. So I imagine that at some point when you were setting up, the woman by the name of, I've got her, Clarel, who runs the dewback stables, would have come by. Do you know any veterinarian skills? Do you have any veterinarian skills, or you just work on bipeds?
475th time, Clarel. 2 legs. That's all.
They're all the same. Cool. So the 3 of you are all near the cantina, and just because it's fun, I think, Joshua, you are currently employed. So I'll give you a gig if you'll accept that you are employed by Trask. Good. So there is an Umbaran dancer. The Umbarans are pale skin, bald, and usually not terribly attractive, but she's passing. Hoshi. And I think she would be the one to come over and give you the heads up. Hey, Grim, listen, you're like Imperial, or you've got connections and stuff, right? So it's probably no big deal that they spotted some APCs heading our way, right?
I'm not Imperial anymore. It won't be a problem. We'll put it that way.
Good. Okay. Like, if I need to go, I can go. You sure we'll be all right?
I doubt they'll come in here.
Trask looks up. What do you mean? We got the best Alderani ale in all Tatooine. It's totally not Alderani ale.
You know how hot I am in this armor right now? There's no way they're coming in here.
All right. You'd think they want some R&R or something. I mean, who doesn't want a little bit of... You guys do that, right? Stormtroopers, they drink, right?
For the 872nd time, I'm not a stormtrooper. I never was.
Yeah, you guys all look the same under that armor, right?
Us guys do, not them.
I don't know. All right, old man. Cool. So a brief little introduction to get some good flavor on Grim. I want to zip to the infirmary. We'll say that you said people would know you'd want to know. So we'll say Yara gave you the heads up. And you, Sundown and Janila, both over here as she's just, hey, Imperials are coming. Not good. We should shut down. Maybe move.
It's a bit of an extreme response, but what kind of Imperials are coming?
For the big troop carriers. Transport.
Right. You don't happen to know what's happening around in town that could draw them here, would you, Yara?
Same. Nothing changed.
Well, then we'll stick to what the town does. Nothing's changed. Nothing could possibly draw them to this. She kind of waves around the infirmary. We're a small operation. They have no reason to care. Unless they do. She gives Yara a look.
Okay. So we don't go? Or we go?
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll stay here. There's absolutely no reason for them to come here. Unless there is, in which case you tell me right now.
Ooh, it sounds like you are trying to probe for a little bit of information here, huh?
Yeah, not as much as I don't want to cast dispersions on
your
dear
own
Yara.
employees who you hired and brought out of the squalor to teach them how to help people. I think you're trying to read a person here, right? When you read a person in a charged situation, roll plus sharp.
Oh, there we go. I'm rolling that sharp then. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And tell us, got some baggage. Okay. Oh dear, that's a 6.
That's a 6. Okay, so the good news is that you rolled sharp. So whether it's pass or fail, you get that sweet XP. On a miss, you get to ask one of those questions anyway, but be prepared for the worst, my friend. It literally says that. Be prepared. I added the my friend, but it says be prepared for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Apocalypse World when I read it. Didn't seem that chummy. Okay, look at these. Good questions. Oh, I want to know what she's really feeling.
She's really feeling that if the poodoo hits the fan, she's gonna have to roll over on you. Like, this is a nice job, but job's a job. It's not like you pay a lot. And yeah, if the Imperials come knocking, Yara is gonna rat you out. That's what she's feeling because she's scared.
I think.
What do you do?
I think. I don't give her a smile. I don't think Tal smiles much. I pat her in the shoulder and just say that if Poodoo does hit the fan, Yara, I think I'd understand if one has to do what they have to do to keep on living. And I kind of say this, keeping eye contact with her.
Ooh. Okay. Cool. So you kind of call it out. What you get that sense from her, and now you're just putting it in her face. Are you trying to, like, are you threatening her right now? Because the words don't sound threatening, but I'm just trying to get a gauge.
Yeah, what I'm trying to put out is that if she's gonna roll over me, then if she does that, then I'm gonna have to like just get back at her, or like just roll over on her. Like at this point, if people are rolling over people, then like don't expect me to be nice to her.
Okay, cool. I get it. All right, I just want to make sure if you were just like putting it in her face, but you're putting it in her face in a hope to shut it down, right? I know you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I don't think the threat is immediate enough for you to be going aggro here. So I think you're really trying to manipulate her. Bluff, or fast talk, or lie to someone. So go ahead and roll with hot.
Oh dear, not my best stat for sure, but that's an 8.
Oh, it's an 8. Okay. With an 8 on a 7 to 9, they'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first. She says, "Me and my sister, we don't like Imperials. Yeah, they come close, we shut down. No credits flow, but nobody come inside."
I think I nod and say, I don't love Imperials either. That seems good. And I'm gonna pat her in the shoulder again. I wouldn't want you and your sister to come to worse.
I think Yara is the older of the two sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's, from times that you have spoken about it, their parents were not around much. So she's kind of had to mom her younger sister. So that might be motivating a little bit of her, like ratting you out because she's got another person to take care of. So she nods and then comes over. "You two no stay long."
Wasn't planning on it. I don't like to spend a lot of time in medical places myself.
Imperial's coming. Not good.
I hear.
No good.
I hear. No idea what that's about, huh? Guess I should go find out.
Yara's like, "Oh shit." What about you, Janela? You're of course part of this conversation. You're muted. I think you're muted on the. There you go.
How dare that machine mutiny. I used this cursed thing. I kept that. No wonder I kept trying to say something and wasn't heard. Okay.
I was like, this is the quietest Joe's ever been in a
I
game.
know, I was like
Reaction from him.
I wanted to read a person during that whole situation.
Oh,
between-
I'm sorry. I was not ignoring you. I promise.
I was muted, so yeah, like I'm looking at you, I'm like, well, I'd love to heal faster, but I don't really have control over that. So
This back to good. This back to good.
no, the back is great. My body only works at the normal rate.
Celtron weeks.
Faster than her. As I point to almost, I guess, Tella. She's not the one that's banged up. But yeah, no. You go ahead, Sundown. I'll catch up with Tella. It's been a while since we saw each other.
Ooh, are you gonna leave her be? Sundown?
Yep. I think I am. I think I'm gonna I am going to, let's see, do I wanna do this the overt way or not? I think do I know where they would be likely to go? Like where they're gonna stop most likely?
Yeah, so taking a look at the map on the character keeper, there's an electro gate. So Molshuda itself is up on a plateau, which is great because that means you don't have wandering womp rats just coming around and stealing stuff. So the electro gate is up a pathway. And Jawa traders, when they come in, they're big sand crawlers. They have to stay outside. They don't get to come in. So they got to set up their little flea market outside. You know that the Imperials are going to come up, go through the electro gate, which is on the southwestern corner, and they're probably going to zip their way up towards spaceport control. That is most likely where they would go first, because there's actually a very small administrative Imperial presence that control the two landing bays, Besh and Auric.
Cool. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna go over to I'm gonna hang out, like loiter around near the spaceport control and just try to like blend into the background. I'm not actually hiding.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna throw Grim your way.
Awesome.
So Grim, Trask has offered you a cred to go with Hoshi to the spaceport and wait for the Imperials to show up. And you're mostly there to back Hoshi up in case she says something wrong, but Hoshi's there to try to entice troopers or Imperials to come to the cantina. She's not actually holding a sign. She is the sign that is supposed to attract Imperials. No matter, like, the fact that you aren't one of these troopers has just proven to Trask that you don't know what you're talking about. That obviously stormtroopers will come to the cantina and not shoot it up like they did the last 3 times. Because anyway, so you head out with Hoshi. Hoshi is like, she's like 5'7". She's very thin. Umbarans are thin boned. So she's kind of runway model built, very, very, very trim. A steady wind would knock her over. But she's cute enough that she is able to earn a few credits. And so the two of you come up to the spaceport. The spaceport itself, they keep it relatively clear, but there's a medical center. And as you guys, both Sundown and Grim, you see there's a significant amount of activity around these spaceport control right now, as they are probably getting stuff ready. I don't know if you guys have ever worked at a restaurant before, but there's that the district manager is coming thing. That's what's happening right now. The district manager appearance seems to be happening for this spaceport control. Spaceport control is where people are either sent because they screwed up or sent because they've just graduated and have to cut their teeth somewhere. So there's a huge gulf of very experienced, but probably like corrupt, and terribly inexperienced and not yet corrupt that work at Spaceport control.
But you got to learn to be corrupt from somebody. Why not learn from the experts?
Learn from the best. So anyway, that's what's going on in Spaceport Control. They do hire some non-humans. That's how bad it is to hire people and get them out to Tatooine. Sorry, Imperial speak. That's not rich speak. But yes, they have to hire non-humans to get some of the menial work done. But that's going on. And Grim, you notice that Sundown is here. And Hoshi seems blissfully unaware of the threat that poses.
I think Grim just eyes Sundown and kind of tries to ignore her a little bit. We'll see what Sundown does back. Not that they're like eyes meet. Like if they meet eyes, he'll say something. But I think he's kind of trying to just go around the side or something a little bit. He's not going to start a conversation, I guess.
Sundown is 100% into this ignoring each other thing, because they're busy like picking. They're busy trying to blend in with the menial workers, because they're not human, and like they have to look appropriately lowly to be around here and not draw suspicion. So they're just like picking up trash and keeping an eye on things while they're doing it. And kind of just waiting to see who shows up and what they want.
So yeah, I find a good little spot where I can lean all my guns up against a building and then just motion to Hoshi. Let's set up here.
Should I be dancing when they come up? Or should I wait and then start dancing?
I don't know if I'm the one to make that decision, but I guess you probably want to be dancing when they show up.
Okay, cool.
Act natural.
And she will turn on her little comm link has this little tinny speaker to it, and plays some kind of like jazz music, plays a little bit. She'll start kind of sauntering to the music as the troop transports come rumbling up. The electro gates open, and we will cut away from the pair of you while the Imperials arrive, to cut back to the infirmary, the unlicensed infirmary, as two Gamorrean females are very quickly, like, I imagine they're putting up like shutters and like putting things in front of the door. But Janelle, you stuck around.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm still recovering. And plus, Taylor, we haven't seen you in a while. So you're holed up in Mashuda now?
I go where I need to go.
Oh.
You're gonna be stuck here, Janella,
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, we had a good thing going when you were in Mos Eisley. There's a lot more traffic for you.
It's not about the traffic, it's just about living fine. Of course, you were never for just living fine.
Well, I mean, can you blame me? There's so much things out there that are better than just fine.
I'm sure
you enjoyed many of those things.
Enjoyed is the word, the past word. No, I'm fine where I am.
I think if we tried hard enough, you could find you still enjoy some of the finer things.
Are you going to convince me?
I mean, yeah, try to seduce, manipulate someone. Oh, she's totally doing the whole like it's like sort of like removing some of the bandages, which
Yeah,
count.
and you have a move that means
Yeah,
I can't not be captive to that.
Yeah. Like I mean, the Gamorreans also probably end up stopping what they're doing. It's like they see me like peeling off the bandages and like checking out the scar. It's like that'll heal.
I think we cut to the younger of the two Damani, and she goes, "Scar's pretty."
I don't know. Did I trigger a move?
You did. Arresting Skinner. They stopped moving.
Yeah. I know that much, but I was wondering if I triggered seduce or manipulate someone, because there's no.
I think if you wanted to use the arresting Skinner to kind of shut everything down to open up the possibility of doing that move, that makes sense for me. I'm okay with it.
Okay, totally.
Yeah.
Roll plus hot.
Yeah, Tele needs work. So
yeah.
And don't forget that gets an XP for you, pass or fail.
That's a 12.
Jeez. Okay, on a seduce or manipulate for PCs. On a 10 plus, both. So if they go along with you, they mark experience. If they refuse, erase one of their stat highlights for the remainder of the session.
Oh boy.
It is the meanest.
Jesus, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So what is it you... I kind of idea of what you want to do. I just want it out loud for the recording. What do you want me to do?
Sure. I think like the question was posed. I'm sure if we tried hard enough, you could realize you still enjoy the finer things in life. Basically, it's like getting you to admit that, I guess.
Okay.
And
I think
like verbs or actions.
Okay. I think I'm definitely down for that. So I think what's gonna happen is like Tella's just gonna sighs and gonna puts down like some sort of data pad clipboard that she was like looking at, and says,
I mean, we had so much fun together.
Well, we're gonna be stuck here for a while. I guess I don't.
Plenty of time to go.
I wouldn't mind a reminder or two.
Right then. So I guess we trigger our sex moves.
Okay, so Damani and Yara will finish closing up shop, as it were. I guess you guys go back into Aru, and so
there's plenty of beds. So
we'll fade to black for the blow by blow, as it were. But I am curious: is this just kind of a carnal act, or? And I think each of you get, and of course there's sex move things to deal with as well. But for Tella, is there any intimacy here in this?
Probably not. I think she thinks she has Janella figured. That's just yeah. I think she's figured that. Like I said, they've been lovers before, but there's just not a real connection. I think this is just this here telegiving, and it's just like, okay, I'm tense and stressed. There's Imperials. Fuck it, let's have some fun right now.
Cool.
You get your XP though.
Yeah, you get your XP because you follow through. Good job. And take a look at your sex move. That's on line 27.
Mm-hmm. Right, so if you and another character have sex, your HX with them on your sheet goes immediately to +3. So it jumps from -2 to
I've never seen that before. That's crazy.
That's amazing. And they immediately get +1 to their HX with me.
All right, so +2.
And so I will now ask Janila the same question.
Yeah, let's see.
Are you just using Tella to make yourself feel good, or to kind of reconnect to somebody now that you're stuck here in Moshuda?
Well, no. I mean, we have a physical relationship in the past, and she's that nut that's hard to crack. I can get many others to open up, but she's been difficult. So If you and another character have sex, choose one. You take +1 forward, so do they. You take +1 forward, they take -1. They must give you a gift worth at least 1 barter. You can hypnotize them as though you rolled a 10+, even if you haven't chosen to get that move. I'm going to do that, because I don't have that move. That seems fun.
Okay, so the move Hypnotize, we should probably look at that real quick.
Yep. Hypnotic.
Sorry. Yes, Hypnotic is the actual name of the move. It's on page 25 of the ref book. When you have time and solitude with someone, they become fixated upon you. Roll plus hot. Now you've rolled a 10+. So on a 10+, you hold 3. I will give you those options in chat, but you can spend your hold 1 for 1. You have 3 hold that all apply to. Sorry for the BRs there. I didn't know that would come through that way. But yeah, you've got this hold on Tella. You probably want to drop that into your other Poodoo there, starting on line 61, so you don't forget that you have 3 hold from Hypnotic on
Tella.
And they can spend your hold.
Yep.
Which means you can burn through that hold as it's going, but
put this move into my sheet,
yeah,
though I don't have it. Let's see. So you can spend it 1 for 1 by giving me something I want, acting as my eyes and ears, fighting to protect me, or doing something I tell them to. Also, for PCs instead, anytime you like, you can spend your hold 1 for 1 by, as in I can spend it. They distract themselves with the thought of you. They're acting under fire. They inspire themselves with the thought of you. They take +1 right now.
Which means as long as that hold's out there, Janela can spend it on you whenever Joe wants. But, Leandro, if you want to burn through that, you got to do some work to kind of work off that fascination by showing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So that's going on. You guys have enjoyed your moments of bliss, escape from the heat and the threat, and then there's a all shut down now, Yara tells you. It's through the door. Imperial's here.
Good. Two of you make yourselves. That's out of character. Does that mean they're staying here since it's all shut down?
I don't know. Would they stay here or go to the cantina? I think they're going to hide out here. Yeah, that's why they were blocking the door. You can get out, but they're planning on trying to barricade themselves in the infirmary, unless you tell them otherwise.
Okay. No, I think I'll definitely let them say, like, good job. Make yourselves at home for now. I suppose, well, Imperials are about. And I think I kind of turned to Janela. Will you be doing the same, or?
Well, you want me to leave? It's probably much safer if we hold up together. I'm not sure if I still have a record.
If you're not sure, then you definitely still have a record. Maybe this is the time you play it smart for once.
Excuse me?
Well, the way I heard is that you were doing pretty fabulously in Mos Eisley, and then suddenly you're here.
Things got out of hand. That's not playing it. That's not me not playing it smart. It's just things change. But this is a new adventure for me to tackle. It's not going to be a problem. I'm very flexible, as we just proved.
Yes, you've not stiffened over the years, I guess. I'm just, look, Janella, I got something good going on here. And
She looks around. Yeah, it's going great for you.
it's fine. I like fine. Fine does me well.
Do you like? All right. Yeah. No. This is a good point for her to read a person. Because I'm like trying to figure out why are you still on Tatooine of all places. So
Go ahead.
there's a 9 to read a person. While you're interacting with them, hold 1. While you're interacting, spend hold to ask player questions 1 for 1. Why? There's plenty of places out there that could use your help and skill. Like, why Mashuda? Like, why are you still on this planet?
I think Tala kind of looks away for a bit, and it's just, look, it's complicated. Before I came to Tatooine, I kind of lived a life I regret. There's plenty of places that could do with what I can do, but this is kind of like the one place I feel welcome, if that makes sense. Can't go further bottom than Tatooine, what I heard.
That's fair. What does your character intend to do?
She intends to do as she says. Once the Imperials are done, she's gonna go get some work because she spent all her money propping this place up. She wants to live a quiet life, and you, Janella, are trying to break her away from it. And she intends to fight back, even though the two of you kind of used each other right there beforehand. But she intends to put up a front for sure.
All right. Well, I mean, if the only thing I'd say, it's not sure. You can't get any lower than Tatooine, but there's way better places to hide out if that's your problem.
Why don't I ask the same question, Jenna? Why Tatooine? Why are you here?
Are you trying to? Well, I mean, I'll answer, but are you also trying to read a person?
No, I think. Yeah, actually, no. I think this one is tells just. Actually, yeah. I think.
I mean, you get the XP for rolling, right? So.
Yeah. Like that was what clinched it.
And the hold is always useful. So.
Yeah. Well. That and it gives Rich something to do because I missed.
Yes. Sweet. Okay, so
get that XP though.
Yeah.
You ask that question, and then we hear.
I was a crime lord. That's
yeah. We
literally why I was here.
Yeah, you still get to ask the question, but and because it's asking another person. You still get to ask it. You still get to answer however you want with truth. I was a crime lord. That's totally cool. But be prepared for the worst, which we'll get to in just a moment. But let's go ahead and do that question, and then there'll be.
So yes, why Tatooine? I'm like, I was working for the rebels, and we dethroned a crime lord, and I took over. That's why I was here. It was fun up until I got stabbed in the back.
And then what? I think my question as well is also like the same. I'm asking the same question.
Oh, like what's the future for me, or what do I intend to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll stop there because I've got a thing.
Do I have to answer that though?
Do what?
They ask one. Don't I have to answer that?
Oh, I thought that was the question. I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, like what do I intend to do with the question you chose? I think.
No, I misunderstood. I thought the question had already been asked, but you were leading to it here. Yeah. So sorry. Go ahead. Answer that question.
Yeah, I need to earn some credits and get back on my feet, and I don't know what's next. I mostly live by the seat of my extremely tight pants.
Yeah, I know how tight your pants are.
Yeah.
They were a struggle to. Anyway.
Cool. And that's, I think, when the Damani will say, "Oh no," and now we'll cut away from you guys. So the troop transports all come in exactly as you expected, following protocol, and they circle around in front of spaceport control. There's so many of them that they line down the street, near the medical center, and because there are 4 of them and they're pretty long. And the second of the 4 transports, a number of stormtroopers get out. It looks like an entire squad, and with them is a female human who I have thrown a picture of in the NPCs and places. And she actually has her hair down, which is out of regs. She comes down, scans the crowd, and starts to head for spaceport control. What is it that you do, Grim?
I mean, do I recognize her or anything? I don't
Yes, you
think.
do. This is Lieutenant Morella Muckwill. Morella is a person who she's an effective tool for the Imperials, because she is extremely violent.
Well, I don't have my helmet on. Would she recognize me? Would I be worried about that?
Yeah, she would recognize you if you don't have your helmet on. What do you want to do? She's headed this way. She's got one of the stormtroopers with like the orange shoulder pad. That's obviously rank of some kind. So he must be some kind of like first sergeant or something.
I'm going to lean over to Hoshi and say, "See that woman there? That's who you want to dance for."
Cool. And she says, "Okay, great," because she has no idea what you've just thrown her into. He does look like every other clone, right? So, as long as you just pretend that you're not the person that you are, right?
Yeah.
Sundown.
Yep.
You get a feeling from this female. There is a sense, there's a disturbance in the psychic maelstrom when
Cool.
cuts into things. What are you doing?
I am using my casual brain receptivity move. But like visibly, I am just kind of picking up trash, like making myself look busy. Like I'm just like I belong here. I'm just doing my job, and kind of like looking at her out of the corner of my eye. And I have the ability to read someone without actually interacting with them, as long as they can see me.
Yep, it's pretty perfect, and she sees you. Not that she cares, right? Because
Right.
you're some Twi'lek
Hiding in plain sight.
in plain sight. So go ahead and roll plus weird, and I think that is highlighted for you. So mark an XP.
It certainly is. Oh wow, that is a 12. Wait, no, that is a 13. Yeah.
Oh,
Either way.
nice. So
No, whatever. 11. There we go. I can't math.
Nice. Okay, fantastic. So when you read a person with a 10 plus, you get a lot of questions.
Yeah. Let me look at that.
You get 3 questions.
Which of my million tabs has these questions? I should have had that open. God, where are the basic moves in here? I know they're in here somewhere.
Oh, I can drop it
Green
in.
person. Here we go. I got it. Yeah. What does your character intend to do?
Nice. So immediately, she intends to walk into spaceport control and either take over control or shoot the person who denies her taking over control.
Okay. I don't know that I actually care about that. That's
Sure. I mean, who would complain about Imperial and Imperial violence?
right. Yeah, they can shoot each other all day. That's fine. But that could lead to some problems eventually. So what's your character really feeling?
Oh, she is immediately right now super upset at at being here, at how hot it is, and she just wants to take it out on someone.
Okay. I can
Yeah, so
identify with that.
she's feeling angry and sticky.
Cool. So, all right, definitely going to stay out of her way. I mean, she hasn't said anything, so is your character telling the truth doesn't really fit. I would prefer that she not wish I do anything because the whole point is to stay like unnoticed. So how could I get your character to what is it that I want her to do?
You can, and again, this is hold. So if you want to let things develop for a little bit,
Oh, right, it is hold. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna hold that last one.
awesome. And so she's walking in. Are you putting your helmet on, Grim?
No, it's too hot for that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's pretty hot. It's too bad that you didn't get the thing like the new stormtroopers. They have actually like little vents, and it's really nice. It's like cool tech. She's headed for the door. She's got her pair of troopers that are attending her, and the rest of the unit following behind. And you see that she has on her she's got a little utility belt type deal, and she has basically an electro whip. At her side, she doesn't carry a blaster pistol because that's, she'll just take one from one of the troopers. And she sees you. She clocks you. And she slows down her little march towards the front door and just pivots a little to start walking towards you. Clone.
It's been a long time since anyone called me that. What do you want?
What's your designation?
RC-1447. But my name is Grim.
Whatever, old timer. What are you doing standing outside of this spaceport? Are you working security? She looks and scans all the weapons you've got kind of arrayed around yourself. She's not afraid of it. She's just more like, I am marking all of the dangerous threats that he poses, and it's kind of exciting to me.
I work for hire.
Yeah? Who employs you right now? And that is when Hoshi says, Trask's Cantina employs him. And she dances over and gets kind of in her face and kind of does this thing where she puts her arms on either side of the lieutenant's neck and shakes her little money maker there. What do you do?
I'm just watching. This is what we're here for.
Sweet. So Lieutenant Muckwill says, step back. This is the only time that I will tell you. And Hoshi is she's like, no, you don't understand. I will dance for every member of your unit. It's okay. It's free. You don't have to tip. It's totally optional. And that's when Muckwill shoves her hard. Do you catch Hoshi when she goes flying backwards?
Yeah, I think I start moving as soon as the lieutenant says that first line. And all I've got right now is just my pistol on my hip, but I haven't drawn it or anything. But yeah, I'll catch Hoshi.
Nice. Cool. So you catch Hoshi, and she's like, "Oh god!" And that's when Muckwill pulls out the electric whip and does this snap, and it hums to life, and you see this electric tendril kind of shoot out. What do you do?
I draw my pistol and point it at her and say, "Hey, we don't have to have any trouble here."
I think you were going aggro on her.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. You go aggro on someone, make it clear what you want them to do and what you'll do to them. Roll plus hard.
We're just here to dance. If any of your stormtroopers want to come to the cantina, you can. Otherwise, leave us alone.
All right. 2d6 plus hard, which is +2 for you, and you get to mark an XP.
Sweet.
I mean, you had an opportunity to like seduce or manipulate and get an XP there too, just so you know. I mean, it's an option. It was on the table.
On the table, yeah. That's a 7.
Okay, that is a barely make, but still a make. So you roll hard on 10 plus. They have to choose on a 7 to 9. They can choose some other options. So
What?
There's Danish and donuts.
I'm going to mute Joe. I'll unmute. You won't be able to unmute them. They can unmute themselves. Oh, wait. No, Joe's okay. Sorry. I heard you have an... Okay. Cool. So, yeah, I think what Muckwill's going to do... is she's going to... She keeps the electric whip in her hand, but she lowers it down, and then she just walks towards you calmly. She's going to try to force your hand.
Oh, I know where this is going. I think I glance over to Sundown. You know, I know she's been there the whole time. And how can I diffuse this? I don't want to fight a whole 4 APCs worth of stormtroopers.
It will be bad.
I mean, even Grim knows that's a bad idea.
Smart. He has read the situation without rolling dice.
I would like to spend a hold.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to get involved in this, but like this is going nowhere good, and we don't really want to start her out like hating the occupants of this place. So, how could I get your character to leave them alone, but like specifically transfer the aggression to like the Imperials in charge of the spaceport, not like the little people who live here. But like in the moment, like yeah, just specifically off of Grim and Hoshi.
Okay. So the options that you have at hand from reading Muckwill's mind effectively is that Morelia Muckwill responds to a stronger force. You could reveal yourself with your abilities, and she would find that intriguing enough to where she's not going to buck her or give up her authority, but she would acquiesce to a demand. You can also, if you were to come up to her and tell her, like basically if you were to rat out the administrative personnel here for doing something that would allow her to...
That is 100% what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I am going to just kind of quietly walk up to her and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, I just thought you might want to know they're preparing their weapons and they know you're here to take over, so I wouldn't give them much more chance if I were you."
She looks over at you. And you have a feeling like, especially from your feeling around her brain, she's marked you. The idea of you just hiding out next time is going to be more challenging.
Cool.
She smiles. Grim, don't go anywhere. Attend me. And then she's headed for the door. What do you do?
Me?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of there.
Okay. Grim, what do you do?
Quick question. The barracks on the west side of town, is that an Imperial barracks?
They're non-Imperial barracks. Those are barracks for Timo's guard.
Okay.
A lot of Gamorreans, some one weak way, but there's like an entire barrack that's empty that's next to him because he smells, and a few others.
All right. I kind of pull Hoshi to the side and say, why don't you hit up the stragglers of the stormtroopers and then head back to the cantina? I don't want anything to go sideways for you.
Stars, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And she will like meet your eyes for a second, and she gives you like this quick little like one arm side hug of thanks, and then she scampers away to try to get as far away from Muckwill as possible. And Muckwill demands that one of her Imperials like set a thermal detonator on the door. And that is the explosion that we hear at the, because it's loud. But yeah, you guys, your conversation back at the infirmary, the unauthorized infirmary that's hidden near the cantina and blockaded so no one can come in. You guys hear a loud explosion. It sounds like it was from maybe a block or so away, but that's enough to freak out the Gamorreans. What do you do?
I think I kind of try to like calm the two Gamorreans down. I think I'm just gonna say like calm down. That's
We're going to die. We're going to die. I should never have come here. Why did I start working in infirmary? This is all Tamari. She's losing it.
We're not going to die. You came here to work because you want to know how to live longer and help others do the same. It'll be fine. This place is locked down. Whatever nonsense is happening, well, that's Moshuda for you. But we're smarter than that.
Oh, everyone's cameras went off except for us. That's weird. Okay. So it sounds like you're trying to get her to chill out, right?
Yeah.
I think that's really just talking to her, trying to manipulate her to not tear open that door and go running out into the hot afternoon.
Yeah, because we spent all this time shutting this place down. Let's see if this roll for a party is good for me this time. Let's see. Hot is -1. That's an 8.
Cool. She'll say, give me a weapon. Give me a weapon. Give me a weapon. In case they come in.
I think I kind of give...
Like, I'm sorry, I speak up. I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought you were Gamorreans, not Jawas.
You cannot shut them down. That is not in this game.
I'm trying to bolster them. I'm trying to aid, help Tella.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I roll plus.
Yeah, go ahead and roll plus the HX you have with her.
Which is 2 now. So. Which is 9 plus 2 is a 10 plus.
Okay, cool. The 10 plus, they give you the +1 forward.
No, it gives them +2. On a 10
oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'm 10 plus. Sorry, my brain was operating on first edition. I apologize. Yeah, that's that gives you a +2. And
that bumps me to a 10.
Yeah, bumps you to a 10. So, yeah, she demands the weapon, but then Janila steps in and says something, and it cows Damari, and I think that Yara will kind of cuff her in the back of the head and squeals at something at her in Gamorrean, and Damani just walks away. And but she does grab like a little vibro scalpel, just to have a little safety device. And Yara says, "Sorry."
No worries. It happens. Like I look at Janelle and kind of like
A wink back. Really got to learn how to talk to your employees.
my tongue's not as sharp as yours. I think. So you said the explosion is like a few blocks?
Yeah, it sounds like a few blocks, but it was significant. Like I mean, imagine Tella's heard a thermal detonator before. That is not standard protocol for Imperials to open things with thermal detonators.
I think I look at Janella as a kind of like pacing the room and said, "You didn't happen to, whatever nonsense happened in Mos Eisley, you didn't happen to draw any Imperials toward here, did it?"
I mean, not many people from Mos Eisley probably know I survived, let alone I'm here.
Right.
But let's grab like a cloak. Let's go check it out.
Taylor really doesn't want to, but I think Janetta's being. I'm not gonna make you spend a hold, but like this is kind of like a part of that is just.
Oh yeah. Do you want to spend your own hold to do something I want? Do something I
Yeah. Yeah, because if I'm being honest, I would rather just hunker down here. But obviously that's not fun. So if you're telling her to like, yeah, let's grab a cloak and just check out what these Imperials are, she's just kind of like, fine. Guess it's better to know than to skulk in here. And I think definitely there's like a secret way out. It's not blockaded.
Yeah, it's like a back door.
Well, Yara and Damani know that you guys have left, or as far as they're concerned, you guys went back in the back to spend alone time again.
Yeah, I think that's what I kind of imply.
Okay. We're going to go hook up somewhere, and then you just take off and leave them there. Good. So we're going to follow you guys for just a few moments as I move towards close, because we got a little bit of session in stuff to do. After the thermal detonator goes off, Lieutenant Muckwill leads her troops into the spaceport and spaceport control, and you hear blaster fire. And the few stormtroopers who kind of straggle behind to talk to Hoshi, they get cuffed and ordered to move ahead. And the first two units, the two troop transports, that's basically two platoons or two squads, go in to take control, undeniable control of spaceport control. And there's just this kind of smoking ruin of the door that you guys see, and that is where Janela and Tella will join the two of you with a number of stormtroopers that are here, just making sure they keep secure control of what's going on. They're going to start. You can tell Tella that they are going to be taking control of the situation. They're going to start going around all of Mos Shuta and kind of locking this place down. And Lieutenant Muckwill has taken undeniable control of Mos Shuta as of the end of this first session of Apocalypse World Tatooine. So there, at the end of every session, you choose a character who knows you better than they used to. If there's more than one, choose one at your whim. Tell that player to add +1 to your HX with you on their sheet. If this brings them to an HX +4, just a second, I got a cough. That brings them to an HX +4, then they reset their HX to +1 and mark experience. Also, let me just add in, because I know someone has several +3, so I want to make sure you're aware of this. There's a custom move, 2 custom moves on the custom move tab. One of them is kind of unofficial, official. If you reach HX +4 with another person's character and reset HX with them, you may ask that character a question. The player must answer it honestly. You can work out how your PC knows this information with them. Play nice. So, any questions about that custom move? I want to make sure it's clear. There is no list of questions. It is whatever question you want. It can be a metatextual question. It can be an in-character question. If it's a thing where you want to think about it, you can ask it at the top of the next session. Or my preference is, if you want to think about it, ask it via our email chain so that player has a chance to think about the answer that they don't feel kind of put on the spot, because it might be a big question. So we'll start with Joshua. Grim, who knows you better than they used to?
I think Sundown, because she saw that interchange with Lieutenant Muckwill and maybe learned some things that she didn't know before.
Nice. Okay, so Sundown, you will add 1 to the HX you have with Grim, and that would roll you over. So you get to ask a question of Grim. Do you want to think about it and just hand it out later, or do you have a question in mind?
I'll provide. I'm muting myself. I'll think about it.
Okay. All right. So then next, Joe, for Janila, who knows you better?
I feel like Tella. I'm pretty obvious.
Okay. And that will roll Tella over. So, Leandro, you will get a question. Do you have a question in mind now, or do you want to think about it and ask later?
Why is Janela so interested in Tala?
Because you're so repressed.
I'm fine with that.
I'm like, you're so shut off.
There are reasons for that, but you might find out in the coming weeks. There are very good reasons for being repressed.
Cool. And also, Tella will mark an XP because the HX rolls over, and now it's +1. It rolls over to +1. And then Sundown, you get to mark an XP because it rolled over for you.
-2 to +3 to +1.
Wow.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Seems like you really want to have sex with people. So
It helps me out.
Yeah, it really does.
All right, Leandro. For Tella, who knows Tella better?
I mean, yeah, likewise with Janela for sure.
Okay. Then, Janela, you get to move yours up to 3.
Yep.
And last but not least, Sundown. Who knows you better?
Let's see, is it Janela or Grim? I think it's Janela knows me better because, well, I mean, she knows that I
just found
that I somehow knew, where to find her, and that I would bother to do that. So
Use the Force.
yeah.
And the piece of good news, friends, with love from your MC, I will not force you to spin for lifestyle at the beginning of next session because not enough time will have passed. You get to ride it out.
Okay.
So that is the end of our Apocalypse World mechanics things. We have a few minutes left, so I'd like to do my normal feedback tool of roses and thorns. So I'm going to shift around the order because I've been making Joshua go first all the time, and now it will be Bethany. Bethany, we will begin with thorns. Were there any rules confusions, missed opportunities, disappointments, or things that you need clarified? Any thorns that you had from today's session?
I feel like I should have something here, but I really can't think of anything.
Okay. If someone mentions something in it and you're like, oh, yeah, I also feel that, then feel free to jump in. Leandro, what thorns did you have?
I don't think I have many. Like, it's just the usual, like, getting used to a new system, but I don't know, this Apocalypse World seems quite streamlined. So I'm doing fine for now. Yeah, I don't think anything pops up for today. I'll keep my ears up again if folks have something I might agree with. But for now, I'm doing good.
Okay, thanks. Joe,
Your in-laws. I don't know.
right? I apologize for that.
At the time I was muted and didn't realize it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Oh.
yeah, no.
Work on that.
Game went.
All right.
Game went fine.
I mean, huge thorns to my computer, but aside from that,
No argument.
It was a good, traditional first session. Character creation, then playing for a bit.
Good. Joshua, what about you? What thorns did you have?
I don't really think I have any other than just me figuring out Apocalypse World stuff,
Okay.
wrapping my head around that. So.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't think so. There's just more moves than I thought, especially for like a battle-focused person. So I was just like trying to read through all those and get a good mental grasp of how that all works.
Just as a, my recommendation is if you're looking at the ref book, page 27 is the majority of the time, unless you're angling for a playbook specific move, most of the time that's where you're going to hit moves. The other stuff is a little more situational. And I've run Apocalypse World enough to where, unless I think of first edition stuff, I'll be able to help and kind of point you towards stuff. I'm happy to help. But I hear you. It's a lot. They definitely added a lot more moves this time around, like the road moves and the subterfuge. There's a lot there if those are unpacked and used. That makes sense. Since you went last on Thorns, you get to go first on Roses. What positive feedback or good moments or great player choices or portrayals delighted you? Joshua, what Roses would you like to hand out?
I was just really happy with everyone being like all in from the get-go. We got good character stuff from everybody, I feel like, in a session 0. That's pretty remarkable. So kudos to everybody.
Awesome. Thanks. Joe, what about you? What Roses did you have?
Similar, but also I really love the closed off, repressed, super secret angel. Like, yeah, I want to help people, but don't talk to me.
It is pretty cool. Leandro, the super secret angel.
Yeah, I think my main rose is just to yourself, Rich, for all the setup and for all this like coming in here, I had a hard time thinking, sweaty 18 plus Star Wars world. That's a bit weird, but I think no, this really works. Like, thanks for all the just the work you put into like all these NPCs and stuff, like and all the customers. Just being sure we're all in. Like, I know Star Wars is like a big cultural thing that most people have a touchstone in, but like getting us to like segue to like a system that's about being gritty and kind of harsh into like I wish I had the license for Buck Rogers, but instead I had to do my own thing universe. Being able to like mesh it all together worked really well.
It's a nice little bit of shade you slid in there. That's good. Sure, Lucas. That's great. Oh, he's just resting on stacks of cash. He doesn't feel bad. Thank you, Leandro. Bethany, what roses would you like to hand out?
I mean, Leandro kind of took mine, which is like, you have set this up, like, so well. You like anticipated. Oh, hey, people might not know how to spell these species. Here's a big list of species, and here's pictures of them all. I'm sure this took a lot of work to both to integrate, Apocalypse World, which I realize is not like there's not a lot of skinning involved, but there's a little bit, and also just like the setup of all the background and the, here's the city you're in and here's what's there, and awesome. It's makes it really easy to just kind of like step into it without having to rack my brain. Like, okay, when was the last time I read a Star Wars book? And shit, those aren't so canon.
Darn it, Disney. Good. I'm glad. I'm really happy that you guys find it easy to step into. the species names and slang, like that tab, I copy it over from the previous game, and it evolves. Like it used to be 6 maybe species, and there's people have like, I want to play so and so. I'm like, I should probably stick that in there. So it's grown, and I'm glad that it's not overwhelming. I try to keep it limited to the point where you're not eyes glaze over, and the pictures help, right? But I'm glad. I really enjoyed you guys. Your characters are really cool. I love seeing Janila in a different vein, and seeing a Skinner that's down on her luck is fascinating to me. I just don't. That's not going to last long. And Leandro, you do the like broken and damaged, super secretive, closed off, repressed character so well. It's like your oeuvre. It's good. I like it a lot. Joshua Grimm is top notch. Like I love how assured he is, and the little hints of accent you throw in without having to go overboard, really great. Like I so know when Grimm is speaking, I pay attention, and man, they sundown spooky, and I love it. And you're not shying away from it, and that's so good, so good. This is great. I can't wait till next week. I really had a good time with you guys playing, and we'll go ahead and end the recording here. But thank you guys so much for this.